Hello, friends. This is Scott, and we're in my Salt Lake City backyard. It is September 15th, and we're looking at my main Espalier apple tree. And I think it's a John of Gold, but again, I'm bad with names on apples. I never keep track. But this tree is loaded. Again, just as a recap, 2 years ago I had 50 fruit, which I was real happy with. But then last year I had nothing, not a single fruit on this tree. And again, must be an every other year tree because now we've got tons of fruit. I know we have way over 50. We probably have 150 on this tree, but I'm not sure exactly what we have, but looking pretty good. And I know they're getting ready to pick because the color changed, and they're dropping a few fruit here and there. So I know it's time to start taking a look at these. And we're going to pick a bunch of apples, and I'm hoping to get 100 off this tree at least, or at least off all my trees. But let's take a look at the others, and as you see, there's some dropping, but yeah, they're nice fruit. And looking at the other trees here, there's a little espalier, which is again the same age as the big one. And it's funny how the size difference is so tremendously that way. But anyway, you got a few fruit on them. You probably got 10 fruit maybe on there. Again, the tree next to it is loaded with small fruit. And I don't know if I'll be picking many, if any, of these today because they're not, the size isn't there. And I'm going to have plenty of fruit to process from the main espalier. So yeah, we may wait on that tree and not do much with it. And looking up a little higher, there's still some fruit up a little higher on this tree. There's some nice ones. Yeah, I think they're more of a tart apple, so those might be Granny Smiths. I'm not sure, but again, they're small, and I probably should have thinned the fruit, but I'm not big on thinning and never have been. So let's take a swing over to the last of the apple trees that's producing this year, and there's several fruit on here that are big and red. Again, names of apples I'm terrible with. I never keep track, but yeah, there's some good sized fruit here, and I've tasted a few of these. They're tasty. So I've already sampled all these trees, and they're nice. So this is the bigger apples on this tree over here, and this is kind of a semi-espalier. It's kind of a messy espalier. I didn't really finish it off, so I had to let the tops grow. And I do have the big festooned apple on the side yard next to the peaches and the Asian pear, but it didn't produce anything again. So don't know why. Maybe it's just a dud, but we'll see. But here I am starting the harvest, and I had taken all my harvest baskets down to the homestead, so I don't have any, so I just got to use a double grocery sack today, and I hope to fill this up. Now, as I'm starting to pick, I'm starting to realize that they're not all big, and there's some that are pretty green, and it's only September 15th, so I can leave them on the tree for a little longer. And again, I don't want to pick them all in one day because it's a lot to process, and if I leave them on the tree, that gives me a little bit of time to not waste them, and they'll stay good and continue to grow, and I'll be able to harvest on another day and deal with all these apples. But again, my goal is 100 apples today, so we'll see. I'm not sure if 100 apples will fit in a sack or not, but yeah, we'll just see. But kind of be a little bit picky, but anything with any color, generally, if it's got any size to it, I'm going to pick today. But this Espalier tree is my pride and joy. And it's a bittersweet day today picking these apples because this will probably be the last time I ever pick apples in this yard. This year anyway, because we're planning on selling this house next spring. So it's like always, you put in lots of effort many years ago and wait and be patient, and somebody else gets to enjoy the harvest in the future. But I'm glad I had a decent harvest for the last harvest. But they're good, yeah, they're good apples. And I did have a few apples on my trees down at the homestead, and so they'll be, I'll always have apples, but I got to be patient again because I think there was only one or two trees that produced a couple apples. So it'll take a few more years and a few more gray hairs to be able to get a significant apple crop again, probably in my lifetime. But yeah, these are nice, and there's plenty of them, and I'm happy. Again, last year I did not have a single apple on this tree, so it is an every other year tree, it appears. And yeah, so next year the new owner's probably going to be disappointed because there probably won't be much, if anything, on this tree. But yeah, we'll see. You never know. At least that's been the pattern up to this point. But yeah, these are nice fruit. They're not the biggest fruit, and I think again they are John of Gold. I looked it up in the past just by checking out the apples on Google Images and seeing what they look like the most. And I think it's a John of Gold, but not sure. I should keep track of stuff, but I just as long as there's food to eat, I really don't care what it is. I'm not a variety guy. If I was, it'd probably be smarter because I know what would be producing better than others. But yeah, But there's what I got off this Espalier tree. That's one tree. What's in that sack. So we'll see how many we get on that. But there's plenty more. I mean, there's one I should have picked probably, but I didn't. Got a little color on it. But I'll leave these on here, and I'll have another significant harvest, maybe as big as today. We'll see. Don't know. But yeah, there's still plenty on here. So I'm happy with it so far. And again, hopefully they last. Hopefully we don't get a freeze. If it does freeze, not a big deal for apples. They get a little sweeter. But they'll start dropping off the tree, and I don't want them to go to waste. But again, there's tons on here, so yeah, we'll see what we got. Here's the baby Espalier, and again, this tree is the same age as the big Espalier, and it only has a few fruit on it. It's funny how right next to the other one, but yeah, it didn't ever really grow much. It's a good-looking little tree. It's cute, but it looks like it's a brand new tree planted, and it's got to be 9 years old probably. So I don't know what variety again this tree is. So maybe it's just a smaller variety. I don't know. You hear a little clanking in the background. That's Mr. Lincoln and his collar. And so here's the tree that has tons of apples, but they're all small. And I'll go ahead and pick a couple here. I dropped a few, but we'll taste those and see how they are, and go from there. But yeah, Mr. Lincoln decides to make a lot of noise during this video. Well, here is the bigger apples, and these are nice. I think these might be a Macintosh, I'm thinking, but I don't know. But there's not that many apples on here, but they're all quality. And so I'll get some nice ones here. So we'll fill up the rest of the sack, and we'll see what we get for a total. Let me give you a look at 6 that I picked, and they're nicer apples, got a little color on them. And you tell me what you think they are. I think they're Macintosh, but I don't know. So I got to reach for a few, and yeah, I can barely reach them, but yeah, we got them pretty good. I am starting to see a little bit of earwig damage on the top, just barely though. And again, I thought earwigs were going to be a bigger problem as they were down at the homestead. But this year, at my house, the peaches didn't even have any earwigs. I've not found an earwig in a peach, and they love to eat the pits. So it's been an okay year for insects up here. Well, it's been so terrible down at the homestead. But yeah, we just cut out the bad parts. I don't have any other really bug damage. A couple apples have a little bit of worm damage, but just very minimal. So yeah, gardening in the city is a whole different ballgame than gardening out in the country. The amount of insects in the country is tremendous, and you get spoiled in the city because you're not dealing with all the stuff that you have to deal with when you're out in the rural areas where there's just these bugs can just multiply and just kind of take over a garden. But I'm still happy with the harvest down there. I've got a little bit of everything, and I'm satisfied with this year's harvest. But here's a look at what 100 apples look like. There's 70 from the first Espalier, and I just picked 30 from the other 3 trees. And so 100 apples was my goal, and there's 100, and I've got way more than that still on the trees. So we'll be dealing with it again on another harvest day a couple weeks from now probably. But there's a grocery sack, and it fit 100 apples, so that was good. So I didn't have to go and get any more sacks. Here they are on the counter, and running out of room. It's, again, harvest season. I got Asian pears that should be harvested by now, and I've got hundreds and hundreds of those, I think. So I've got to clear out some space and start processing fruit. But anyway, I'm happy with the harvest here in Salt Lake City, and Little Urban Orchard is doing well. And I'm hoping to replicate this success down at the homestead. I keep saying hobby farm, but yeah, I'm hoping for in a few years to be able to have this many apples down there. Well, thanks for watching this video, and if you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button, as I could really use your help getting to my 1,000 subscribers. I'm growing, but it takes time, and I'm really proving that it takes time because I've been doing this channel for quite some time, and it's still waiting to get to that mile marker. So thanks for watching.